Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rev and Filo show. I'm Filo, and here's my partner right here,
Hello,
Rev. Always with us
Philo.
together.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Please excuse my wincing in pain. Don't eat Little Caesars ever. I had Little Caesars yesterday, and I've been dealing with it ever since. And I don't even have like the runs. It's like all packed up. I feel like
Oh,
I wish I had the runs.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just to get it out of me.
Eat some prunes.
We didn't really get. We've seen each other, but we didn't really get to talk about our trips very much.
Yes.
But I was thinking last night, like my mom, ever since I was young, like she's always had like issues with her stomach. Like she always says like gets constipated really easily and this and that, and like that's not really a problem I've ever had. For anything, I've had the opposite. You know, where I'm like shitting myself practically. And last night I was just like I don't know what the fuck was going on, but my stomach was just hurting really badly, and maybe I was constipated. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever been constipated. What is?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been constipated. It just fucking hurts.
Because that's what it feels like. It feels like I have like I have gas. Like if I could just have like one good like fart, you know, just like, but like, and I'm usually pretty gassy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know why. Maybe I am constipated. Oh, fuck, I don't know. I was laughing at my mom 2 weeks ago. She was like, "Ooh." I was like, now look at me.
Well, you know, that's why they say drink five. I mean, well, yeah, eat a lot of fiber,
Eat a lot
drink
of
a lot
fiber.
of water.
That's what I was telling her.
Yeah.
All right, because like before we went on our trip to Tahoe, that whole week I was eating like chicken and broccoli and cabbage. And I'm probably gonna have to eat some of that tonight. And I was telling her like fiber. I was like scolding her practically. And now look at me, one Little Caesars pizza and fucking
Bam.
I can't even fucking breathe. But you were in Vegas, I was in Tahoe, and we had very different experiences.
Yeah.
How was Vegas?
Well,
How long? Because I mean, obviously Vegas has been closed because of COVID.
so it opened. Vegas opened in June.
Uh-huh.
It is now July, past 4th of July, but Vegas opened like about a month ago now. So like June 4th, some casinos opened, and then June 7th, another group of casinos opened. We were there around June 20th.
You were the Strip, right? Old Vegas.
No, we were on the Las Vegas Boulevard, which is the Strip, but in the newer side. But we were like more towards the airport, so we were in a family resort like outside of Vegas. Anyway, it was interesting. It was not like there was not a lot of people around.
Yeah.
Really. You know, probably because of the pandemic. Most likely. I talked to.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that was probably 100% why.
Well,
there was no one around.
Before I went, you know, a lot of people were excited for the Strip to open. There's this new promo that's pretty dope. For like, remember how back in the day they had the Las Vegas, you know, whatever happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas.
Right.
So the Vegas.com was the one who really like made that pretty popular.
Right. That like I'm loving it for McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. So what they're doing now is like it says we're back or we're back open, welcome back, come back. But the thing that looks really cool is that they have a video of Vegas all blacked out. And then somebody like flips a switch and
then it turns back on.
Yeah, and everything starts
all the
to turn
pretty
on.
lights. Ooh.
Yeah, it looks dope.
It's it's pretty cheap right now to go to Vegas, right? Like
super
that's
cheap.
Kind of it's it's funny, like everybody says don't go to Vegas, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it would seem that it's like the best time to go to Vegas because there's no one there.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
And it's cheap as shit.
It's super easy to social distance. They have hand sanitizer everywhere. Some casinos even have gloves and
yeah, hand sanitizer is like everywhere now.
Yeah, some casinos even have sinks like right in the front.
You know what? And like, because like there's been a lot of pushback on masks.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself the other day. I tweeted actually. I was waiting in line. I was at Tommy Burger, the original Tommy Burger right there on Rampart.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have this, they have the lines, you social distance, and everyone has their mask, and they won't serve you if you don't have a mask on. And I just thought to myself, like, not only do I not mind the mask, I actually prefer it, like, because like were people that much more cleaner before COVID? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, if everyone's getting all like riled up about like washing their hands and having to put, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Were you like not that into cleanliness
Yeah,
prior?
how
Like,
disgusting were people before?
yeah,
this?
exactly. So I'm like, this is probably for the best. Same thing with like the bus, right? Everyone says don't take the bus, and I hate taking the bus
Yeah.
because it gets crowded like easily, especially if you ride it, at the right time, like in the afternoon and this and that, early in the morning. Any commuter times, the bus is like the worst. So I never really took the bus. Now that COVID has been a thing for a while, everyone was like, don't take the bus, don't take the bus. But I take the bus. The buses are empty now. I get on the bus and they're empty. I'm like, this is great.
It doesn't matter what time of day you go.
Nope. I get on like the other day, like I was on the bus and it was like moderately filled.
Yeah.
Like maybe halfway filled, and I got like annoyed. I was like, God, why are there so many people on the bus? Like, what the fuck, Before it used to be like people like going to school, people from ELAG, and then you had like senoras, and then senoras, they walk everywhere, so they have their fucking like bags, little bag, not even their bag, but like those carts.
Yeah, the carts.
And they're bringing. So now it's like 2 people, and like there's not a lot of room on the bus, and then motherfuckers are on with their backpacks, and it was not good.
Yeah.
And now the bus is empty, so I'm like, it's, I don't know. It's like having the opposite effect. Everyone says don't take the bus, don't go to Vegas. But if anything, now's the best time to do it.
Well, and what's funny is we were talking a lot about how you said like Karens and stuff, right? Yeah. Like how white people are really don't like to be told what to do,
right?
And when I went over there, the biggest difference from here and over there, and in Nevada and Las Vegas where I was at, people there, if you look around. And you look and you'll see black people, you'll see Asians, you'll see Mexicans, or Hispanics, Latinos, whatever. And then you look around at the white people, and they were the only ones that were not wearing their masks.
In Vegas.
In Las Vegas, yeah. At least the casinos that I was at, and at the hotel where I was at, it was always white people that didn't have their masks. Now, when we were there in the middle of our trip, Governor Mo Sislak, I think is his name, or
his name is not Mo Sislak.
Or Sislak.
There's no way his name is Mo Sislak. Do you know who Mo Sislak is?
Yeah, the bartender.
Yeah,
that's how I remember his name. His Governor Sislak, right?
I can't be his name, dude.
No, it's Sislak. It's
Sislak.
Yeah,
the
Sislak.
Governor of Vegas is
It's not Mo. No, it's Sislak.
Or the fucking mayor of Las Vegas is Mo Sislak.
The governor of Nevada. The governor of Nevada
is Mo Sislak.
No, Governor Sislak. I said Mo Sislak, but it's Sislak.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
funny.
Governor Sislak, he in the middle of our trip made it mandatory to wear masks.
Right.
So when we were leaving, they gave us a note saying make sure you wear it. We were wearing a mask, it wasn't a problem. When we were leaving at State Line, though, I
like to wear the mask too, because I feel like I have pretty eyes, so it accentuates the eyes.
Smile with your eyes, they say.
You can also mouth fuck you to anyone, and they'll never know.
Oh yeah, that's right. But so we were there, and this guy, it was a bunch of white people that were complaining. I saw one white guy get kicked out of a casino.
Oh yeah,
because he didn't want to wear his mask. Like,
just wear the fucking mask.
I didn't understand.
I mean, like, you know what? I was walking somewhere, or it was hot, and I had the mask on, and like, yeah, the mask is annoying. Like, it can be annoying. And it's hard to breathe, and if you're like starting to build up like a sweat, or your heart rate goes up because you're walking, or maybe it's been hot, it's getting hot now.
Yeah.
It can be annoying, but I mean, it's not like, oh my God, like, give me liberty or give me death. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's just like, here's what I do. I was talking to my mom about this, about wearing the mask and this and that. I put the mask on when I leave the house, right? If I have to go somewhere to the market or whatever. And I have 3 positions. Traigleza. I'll have the mask. Sometimes I'll have it on my ears, but I'll have it under my chin. If there's nobody around, and I'm like walking out of my house or whatever, and there's nobody around, then I'll just have the mask down here.
Yeah.
If I'm walking and I'm walking down the street or something, and like people are passing me, but I'm not really like around people, we're just sort of passing each other, I'll wear it like this with my nose out because like it is easier to breathe. It is easier to breathe. If you're walking and like you start to huff and puff, like it can kind of get annoying, and you get sweaty, and then my beard gets all sweaty, and it's annoying. I'm not gonna say like
it's not comfortable.
I get it. It's not like super comfortable, but whatever. And then like it's the only place I ever go to is like I go to the market or I go to like CVS across the street. To whatever get shit. So once I get into these places, or if I'm standing somewhere like stationary in like a group of people, then I'll put the mask on over completely.
That's kind of what I was doing over
That's
there
what
in
I
Vegas.
do, and like, cause like if you're social distancing, then the mask is kind of just a precaution. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, just fucking wear the mask.
Yeah.
I just don't see like the huge deal. I get that it's annoying, and like it can be uncomfortable, but I mean like it's not that big of a fucking deal. Like, how is wearing a mask like oppression, or how is that the government like trying to like strong arm you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't get it.
There's this girl I saw on iFunny. I can't find the video anymore, but on iFunny, there was this young. She was probably like in her 20s.
Mm-hmm.
She has some kind of lung disease where she has to use an inhaler or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She has to also monitor her oxygen levels in
Mm-hmm.
her blood. So she has one of those things like they put on your finger at the doctor, like if you want to check you. Anyway, it has like a red light.
Uh-huh.
She was like, "Oh, people complaining about not being able to breathe in the masks." He goes, "I'm going to show you the oxygen levels, and I'm gonna." And she showed all the different kinds of masks. She had it on for about.
Oh
10
yeah,
minutes.
like it's the same, right?
Yeah, she was like,
that,
she checked every mask, and it was always the same. So she pretty much said, if she's able to breathe with those
People
masks,
are just so entitled, dude. Talk to someone with lung cancer about breathing and how hard it is to breathe.
Yeah,
and it's like, dude, fuck off, like please.
But when we were there, I also talked to a bartender over there, and he told me that the opening when they opened in Las Vegas that first week, it was pretty packed.
Yeah.
And now up until when I went 2 weeks ago, he said it like it's not, it's dead. He said like he's not getting any customers.
What's up, Vegas?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Let's
dude.
do a weekend real quick.
To be honest, like I said, it's really easy to social distance over there right now because it's so empty.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, take advantage. Back, I was in Lake Tahoe last weekend, and like, there wasn't that much social distancing going on. I'll be honest. Like, I sent you a video.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember you sending me that.
That was people practicing social distancing. Like, we went to, okay, so we went to have dinner for my brother's birthday, right?
Yeah.
And this fucking restaurant, they didn't have masks on. They weren't really what's the word? They weren't really like
practicing the precautions.
or like pushing it like, oh, you gotta have a mask or this and that. Like it was a bougie restaurant. Like, granted, like,
so like the waiters
kind of
weren't
expensive.
wearing
No,
masks?
nobody.
Oh shit.
They were, but like it was kind of bougie. So like,
Yeah.
it was a relatively expensive. My parents were picking up the bill, so I was like, whoa, whatever, You
Yeah,
do
be
it.
the lobster.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a little bit more of an expensive restaurant. So like maybe they felt like, oh, these people are paying like top dollar, so we're not gonna push it on them, I guess, or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't cooped up, but I mean, nor was the restaurant like super packed. But anyways, they weren't like pushing it. So
Yeah.
So we went to a we gambled, right? So that's the video I sent you of this casino. It's funny too. I didn't even send that to you for that reason. I just wanted you to see that like in Tahoe you can get like the Vegas kind of treatment.
Uh-huh.
And then you were like, man, it's fucking packed. I didn't even think about it. Like it didn't feel like it was super packed. It was definitely popping though. And so we went I was at the bar with my dad. We were drinking and playing poker, video poker, and then we went to eat. And then after we went to eat, we went back to the casino, a different one though. And Sorry. You don't know how relieving that just was.
It looked relieving.
I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me, dude. This has never happened to me before. I went to another restaurant, and then I went to the to another casino, and then we gambled again for like an hour, and then we left, and we were driving back to our Airbnb, and we drove past this club, and not only was the club like packed in like sardines, and nobody was wearing masks, nobody was. It was just like nothing was going on, but there was a line to get into the club. And I was like, the only reason why like we went out because like
where is Tahoe? Is it California?
Okay, so Lake Tahoe is actually on the border. Okay. So it's in California and it's in Nevada. It sits right on the border. So South Lake, if you look up Tahoe in California, it's not Lake Tahoe, it's South Lake Tahoe. So it's South Lake Tahoe, California. And then there's a state line, and I guess North Lake Tahoe is in Nevada. It's kind of that's what I kind of like about Tahoe is that you can kind of have the Cali experience and the Nevada experience because like the laws change. So like you can hang out in Cali, smoke your weed, hang out like it's you're up in the mountains, so there's trees and this and that, and there's a nice like Cali breeze, and then you cross state line. And then you could drink on the street, you can gamble, and like it's kind of Vegas rules.
That is dope.
So that's why I like Tahoe. You can kind of have the best of both worlds. Then there's the lake, and the lake's huge, and we're hanging. So we had an Airbnb that we got. It was this nice Airbnb right on the lake. Mm-hmm. If you follow me on Instagram, I put like a couple.
Oh yeah, photos,
I saw that, that was. The way our Airbnb was set up, it was a 2-story, but it was like a unit. So it was part of like these vacation rental units. It was pretty nice. Everyone was like, man, I can settle down.
Yeah, I saw some of the shots you got. I don't know if you guys were hiking or what, but when you took pictures.
Okay, we were hiking. That was the cove. That was when we were hiking.
That looked dope.
That was cool. It's kind of cool now. Like if we go back, like I'm a little bit more savvy to Tahoe now, so like we can actually,
like come on.
Yeah, like I'm like, all right, let's go do the cool shit. Like I know where we can go and like this and that. But so where we stayed, it was an Airbnb. It was like a 2-story like vacation rental unit.
Yeah.
But it was like a few units, right? It was nice though. It wasn't, But the way everything was set up, it was like So you walk. So the way our unit was set up is you walk in, and the bedrooms are downstairs. It's a 3-bedroom.
Yeah.
So you walk in, and there's the 2 bedrooms downstairs and a restroom. And then the garage. Then you go upstairs, and then upstairs is where the living room and the kitchen are.
Oh, okay. It sounds like a townhouse.
I guess so. And then also another bedroom. That's like the master bedroom. And then there was these balconies. Excuse me. There was like a balcony, and then you walk on the balcony, and then there's just the lake. Like you could just see the fucking lake.
Damn.
Now we weren't right on the water because there was another row of like units, and they were like they literally like were on the dock. So like from you would enter, and these other units, the way they were set up is like you would from where our entrance was, like if you were looking at the entrance, they only looked like they were 1 story.
Yeah.
But then you walk in, and when you walk in, you're actually on the 2nd story.
Damn.
And I'm assuming it's the same way. Like, you walk in and you're on the 2nd level, but it's like the kitchen and the living room, probably a bedroom, and then you walk down, and then there's more bedrooms, I guess, and then their balconies and their little where you can walk out was like literally like on the water, like there's the dock, like you could literally like dock your boat like right there.
Yeah, that's dope.
It was dope. It's cool. Definitely some white people shit, but some white people shit I can get on board with. Which and then from there was like a pool, but like nobody was getting in the pool. They were like, don't get in the pool. But again I was even telling my sister, I'm like, no one's getting in the pool, so now's probably the best time to get in the pool. But it didn't look like they were really maintaining it either, because or I don't know. So then you go to the pool, and then there was actually like a little like private beach. It wasn't private, like you could access it through other ways, but it was very hard to access, and we had like our own little access point.
Damn. Okay.
for the units that we stayed in. So like, we mainly hung out like right there at the private beach, and yeah, and we just hung out by the lake, and like it was
Was
fucking
there a lot
awesome.
of people at the lake?
It would at different times. It was weird. Like, uh, we went. Okay, so we got there Thursday night. Friday, we were on the lake, and Friday we woke up. We had breakfast, and then we went down to the beach, and we pretty much hung out there all day. And it was kind of popping. Like me and my dad, we rented a Sea-Doo,
Oh, nice.
which was really fun, and it was popping. Like there was a lot of people around, and then pretty much we went to rent a Sea-Doo. We got in line, we went, and then we had to get on a waiting list. Like there was already no Sea-Doos available, so we got on the waiting list, and then we went back to the beach, and they were like, "We'll call you. You just have to answer,
Yeah.
or else we go to the next person." So then we went back. I was assuming we were gonna get a Sea-Doo. We went back to the beach, and then we were there for like an hour or maybe even less. And they called my dad, and then he went back with my brother, and they went and got the Sea-Doo. And we were already set up chilling on the beach. And I was already swimming. I love swimming in the lake, dude. It's so much better than the beach. Like the water's
Yeah.
fresh, and like there's no like crazy waves, and you can just kind of like wade in the water, wade in the water, and it's just tranquil as fuck. Anyways, but then like if you look out, like there's boats and there's people on Sea-Doos, and like I don't know how. That was the first time I'd ever been to Tahoe in the summer. I went once before, and it was in the winter.
Yeah.
And another thing about Tahoe is that you can have the total winter experience. You go there in the wintertime, there's snow everywhere. It's a ski resort.
Yeah.
This and that. The whole lake freezes over. No, that's not true. I think it's too big to freeze over. And so I don't know what the normal what normal is in terms of popping during the summer.
Yeah.
But I mean, like it looked
looked
popping.
normal to you?
There's people. There was people.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we got the Sea-Doo. But then the weird thing is, the next day we went back to the beach, and that was a Saturday, and we
Yeah.
assumed Saturday was gonna be twice as popping as Friday because a lot of people come in on Fridays.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's say for the weekend, and like we're in the water. Me and my dad are in the water, and I don't know because it was kind of an overcast. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but like I didn't even notice it. But my dad points it out, and he goes, "Do you notice that the lake is empty?" And like I look, and the lake was like with boats, it was empty. Nobody was out, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
So it was just you and your dad in the
well,
water?
no. Those people on the beach,
okay.
like hanging out.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about out on the lake. There was no boats,
okay.
and the
I
day
thought you guys were like the only two just floating in the water. Yeah.
just like
It's just a rapture?
all quiet. No. And yeah, so that was weird. But then like yeah, we got on that's going back to Friday. Like we got the Sea-Doo, and like the Sea-Doo was fun. But the funny thing is, like I don't smoke as much weed, and like my tolerance for weed is very low these days. And my little brother, he's at that age where he's like, trying to like sedate himself completely. Like the shit he smokes is so strong, and he's like me. Like he likes to smoke the pen. Like we don't even really smoke grass that much anymore. Like he has his pen. I have my little stizzy that I use, and my stizzy I think was running out, or I didn't have it on me. So when they brought the Sea-Doo over, like I jumped on it, right, and I'm riding it, and like Sea-Doos are fun, bro.
Yeah.
It's like a motorcycle on the water, and the thing about water is like there's no like like on the street you have like laws, right? There's
And on
there's,
the water, you could just.
there's
fucking-
no like really. They're more like suggestions. There's no. It's more like driving safety on the water is more like oh fuck, what's the word? I just thought of it. It's more like the honor system,
Just don't hit anybody.
Yeah, like you just kind of have to be aware of your surroundings
Yeah.
and like don't fucking crash into anyone. But there's no real like rules of the road,
Yeah.
The only like rule I know is that like if you're out in the water like deep and like say you're people like tug a lot. Like you'll get on like a little like a donut or something.
Oh yeah, I've seen
And
that.
they'll
They
tug you on the boat. It's
Yeah.
really fun,
Yeah.
But like eventually you'll like wipe out, depending. And if you wipe out, right, so you're just floating there, and you have to wait for the boat to come around and pick you up. So there's other boats, and it's hard to see if people if you're hauling ass, you can't really see if people are in the water.
Shit,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
yeah.
it's hard to see. So you have to hold up it's like an orange flag that the boat will hold up, and like you have to be aware of that flag so that like there's somewhere around there. There's someone in the water, so you have to be cautious. So you can't be hauling ass.
So yeah, so you can slow down.
You kind of
shit,
slow down a little bit. So, but I'm on the sea, dude, and I'm fucking hauling ass. I'm doing like 80. And it's fun. It's fun. I mean, like you can,
Yeah.
but you just have to be careful. But and it's a huge lake, and like I was loving it, and like. So I rode for about 30, and then I went back because we only had it for a few hours. And, let my brother, we all took a turn.
Yeah.
And then it kind of went around. Like, my sister got on, then my brother, then my mom, then my dad. And then when it was my turn again, I was chilling. I was very relaxed, hanging out, not have to worry about anything on vacay. And I decided to hit my brother's pen, right?
Oh, shit.
And I hit it pretty hard, and I probably shouldn't have, but like, I just let my guard down too much, because I was vacay, this and that. So I hit the pen, and like, I started getting really high. I'm like, oh shit, like fuck, like I'm really faded right now, and like, my brother comes and he's on the Sea-Doo. He comes back, so I'm like, let me get on the Sea-Doo and like,
Yeah.
So I get on the Sea-Doo and I'm like, I'm starting to ride it, and I'm really fucking high, and I'm like, fuck. And the thing about the Sea-Doo is that like you're riding in the ocean, and or the lake, and it's like it's almost hypnotic. Like you get in like this groove, you're like, and all you hear is the engine and this and that. And like I started to just like because I was so high, like I started to like almost like zone out, like almost like fall asleep and this and that. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh man, and like I started getting nervous, and I was like, man, this feels dangerous that I'm like this fucked up right now. So I turned around and I went back, and like I went back doing like 40, like and like. And then I got off, and then I was like, oh shit, like I'm so high. I'm like, I'm good, like I'm done. And then my dad's like, all right. And my dad took a run in it, and then he took it back. And then the next day we went back, and like I wasn't high anymore, and I was kind of thinking like, fuck, man, like I wish I hadn't smoked that weed, because like I feel like I fucked up my second run, like it was a lot of fun, and I was like, man, like I feel like I didn't get my feel on the Sea-Doo, and like. Yeah, so that's all. Just fucking don't smoke weed and ride a Sea-Doo. It's dangerous.
Can you when you wipe out on a Sea-Doo, like you just have to swim back to it? Like, does it stop?
Well, so there's a key, right?
Yeah.
And you have to hook it to you have to wear a life vest, and then you have to hook it to your life vest. So if you do wipe out, which you can if you're like fucking doing donuts and like really, going X Games with it.
Yeah.
Then if you do wipe out, then the key will pull out and it'll stop, and it'll just float. Okay. The only thing is if you flip it over and it like capsizes, you only have like a minute window to flip it back over, or else like I don't know, like water gets like in the engine, and then and then you ruin it or whatever. But apparently, there's a way, like they have it. That does happen where you just like you push it, and then eventually it'll
flip back over.
But you kind of have to know how to do it. Oh, and then my mom fucking crashed the Sea-Doo and like ended up like making a hole in it. So like they had to do like, my dad had to pay some sort of like extra $200 or something to like repair it. But then like what's funny is like he got mad at me and my brother because. He said that we didn't brief her properly. Like we didn't give her all the proper like, briefings on how to
use it. Yeah.
And I was like, And like for some reason he blames me and my brother, but like I wasn't even there when she got on the CD. Like my brother was like helping her get on. Like I wasn't even there. Like I was sitting at the beach.
Yeah,
So
chilling.
I'm like I wasn't even there like to brief her. So what, like, you know what I'm saying? Like tell my fucking
Well, you
brother.
should have been there.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, mom, fucked. Are you that afraid of my mother? She fucked up. It's all good, but my mom can be a little ditzy sometimes.
Damn.
Anyways, it was fun though. It was cool.
How hot was it?
It was perfect. It was like 80s. If anything, like when it was overcast, it was kind of like, damn, it was kind of cold to be out here on the lake and shit. But it was fun. Tahoe's fun. I would recommend. The only thing about Tahoe, the only bad thing about Tahoe is that it's very far. So if you're in California, or I mean, if you're in California, if you're in Los Angeles, going to Tahoe is a bit of a mish, especially if you like have your own boat or something and you got to tug it up there. It's like 7 hours, and then like when you tug a boat, you can only do like 55 or something. So that adds another probably like 2 hours. So you're looking at like 8 hours to get up there, and so it's a bit of a mish.
Yeah.
If we ever went, I would recommend we fly to Reno and then drive from there. You know, we don't have a boat or anything.
You guys flew.
We flew to San Francisco,
right? Yeah.
and then because my sister lives in Oakland.
Yeah. And they
So
picked her
what
up
we
there.
were trying to, original plan was to fly into Reno and do that thing. But I guess because of the corona, there aren't as many flights going out.
Yeah.
So they
a lot of air flights are like taking.
So
bailouts.
they're only going to, I guess Reno's too small.
Mm-hmm.
So you can only fly to like major cities. You can't fly to like smaller cities, I guess, because we couldn't find anything direct to Reno. So we were like, all right, we'll drive to Frisco and then rent a car from there and pick up my sister, and then it's about a 3-hour drive from there.
I remember you said something funny too that when you got on the plane that we asked how you took your stizzy on, and you said, "Oh yeah, I was fine, but my brother couldn't take on fucking toothpaste."
Well, yeah. Well, you're not supposed to. It's like that's why they have the travel size, because you can only take like.
Oh, he took the regulars.
Yeah, he took a whole fucking tube, brand new.
For how many days did you guys stay there?
Wow, that's actually another story. We were supposed to go Thursday and then come back Sunday evening. So we stayed there 3 nights, 4 days, something like that. So it's just like my brother, like he's just, I don't know, he's just he has a much different life than I had. So I mean, I try not to be too hard on him, but sometimes him and my mom, sometimes I feel like they just are just kind of like they're all like ditzy. They're just kind of ditzy a little bit. You know what I mean? Sometimes like use your head. You know what I mean? Come on. But my brother, so like we went through the TSA, and like I had my stizzy. You know, it's like this big, and then like the cartridge is like this big. And I just took it apart and I put it in my carry-on.
You took it apart.
Yeah,
okay.
I just took it apart. Yeah. And like if they were gonna ask me what is this, I would just say, oh, it's nicotine. And if they say, well, I gotta throw it away, they throw it away. Yeah. Okay, you know. So but nothing happened. We go through, and then my brother goes through, and they're like, oh, we gotta check your bag. And I'm just like, of course it would be my brother, like, you know, who, you know. But it was just the toothpaste. So coming back, we had a flight Sunday, 7:00 flight on Sunday. So we left Tahoe about noon. No, we left Tahoe about 11:30. Checkout was at 11. We left Tahoe at about 11:30. It's a decent amount of traffic getting off the mountain, and there's only like one fucking road. Like, you know, we would get caught at like these intersections with like a stop sign. And like, you would get caught in like these 20-car stop sign pileups, you know. So like that added onto the trip. But long story short, we missed our flight. I don't know if I told you that. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, well, because we were supposed to do this
Yeah, that's right. And I
Okay.
texted you.
Yeah.
So we missed our flight. So we didn't miss our flight, but what we missed was the bag check-in cutoff.
Oh, okay.
So we all had carry-ons, but my mom, I even told her, I'm like, she had this big thing, and I'm like, I even said like, Mom, like, what are you packing? Like, we're not even here a week. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 days. Like, come on. She's like, I know, but I don't know. I don't want to play into stereotypes, but chicks. But
Well, Ash.
well, no, but then not even because like my sister came. Oh, wait, no, my sister wasn't on the plane, so
Yeah.
never mind. But
Well-
still, she had a regular sized bag.
When we went to Vegas, Ash and my mom both had like the most luggage in the car, and I remember telling them we're only going for 3 days.
Yeah, like
what
what
are
do you?
packing?
What is in there?
Yeah.
Like clothes are they
Yeah.
they
You can compress them.
yeah,
man.
clothes compress pretty easily. I don't know. Well, what's another fucking funny story is and I admitted to my parents later, but the day before we left, where we at? Yeah, no, like another 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
The day before we left, Wednesday night was Orlando's birthday, right? The
Yeah.
homie Orland, you guys know Orland. He was here last time, and so we had like a very small get together at my house, like maybe 7 people, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't do anything. We just got drunk, right?
Uh-huh.
We got drunk. So, I kind of was like, fuck it, because our flight wasn't until the afternoon, so I'd have to get up super early. But still, like, I was hung. I don't even remember what the fuck we were drinking that I was so hungover, but I was like hungover as fuck. So, I never packed. I didn't pack. So, I go to sleep. My dad calls me about 10 in the morning, and he's like doing some work, and he's like, all right, I'm going to leave work. And he goes, I can pick you up, and then we'll go to the house and like get everything together, and then we'll go to the airport. And I'm like, oh, pick me up after. Just pick me up on the way to the airport, He was like, all right. So then click. So, and then I go right back to sleep. I didn't start packing until my dad texted me, we're on our way. That's when I got out of bed. And I was like, fuck. So I was like, all right. So I got out, and like I had luckily I had the wherewithal to do my laundry the night before, so at least I had clean clothes to pack. So I go and I start, but like I'm still like, I'm like so I'm kind of moving kind of slow, and I'm grabbing shit, and then I get a call, and my dad's like, we're fucking late, so like just be out there already, when I pull up. So now I'm like, fuck. So anyway, so I'm like, fuck. So I just started like grabbing shit and throwing it, like, and I pack all quick. And I'm like, I feel like shit. And like, so I throw my sunglasses on, and I get my thing, and I just get in the car. And it's always tense, with my brother and my parents too. Like, it's always, it's always tense with them. So I get in the car, and I'm just like, and I'm trying to like not look completely fucking wrecked. And we drive, and like I'm like, like I'm getting all nauseous from the car, and then like the car is like small, so I feel like I'm in like a can. So I start feeling like I'm gonna get an anxiety attack, and I'm just like, this is like all bad. Like so I roll the window down, and like I have my sunglasses on, like my parents are talking to me, and I'm like in the back, like I'm trying to hold a conversation. And then eventually my dad looks at me, and he goes, "Are you hungover right now?" I'm like, and I was like, whatever. But they didn't. But whatever. I still got out there, relatively quickly, right? And he kind of foreshadowed, because my dad was like, we're late, and then we showed up to the airport. Like the airport's fucking empty. We get through TSA in like 30 seconds. This and that. So we kind of were like ragging on my dad, like, you're always so uptight about, when we always make it. And then we ended up missing our flight on the way back. And he kind of looked at us like, oh, you guys see that? You're going to make fun of me for this and that? And I was like, fuck. I'm like, all right. But anyways, so we got to finally get to Tahoe, right? And I go through my luggage, and like I had like 2 pairs of pants and like 3 shirts, and that was it. Oh, and then I packed socks and underwear.
Yeah.
Like that I was good on, but like, and my trunks, but like I ran out of shirts. Like the next
Yeah.
day I was already out of shirts. I was like, fuck. I
I
had to buy 2 shirts, dude.
thought you were gonna be like, yeah, I only got my clothes. I had no underwear.
Yeah, no. I had enough underwear, but like I ran out of clothes. Like by Saturday morning, I was like, shit. Like I have nothing to wear. Like tonight when we go to dinner, I have nothing to wear tomorrow when we go home. And I admitted to my parents,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'll be honest. Like I didn't start packing until like you fucking. And they were like, bro, they got all mad at me.
They got mad.
They didn't get mad, like,
Yeah.
but like they were like, just fucking Chris, this and that. But like it's kind of fun with my parents now because like I'm like a full-fledged adult,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Spank me, dun 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 dun, dun.
That's Chris.
like that's the like me packing last minute is like the most headache I've given them in like 7 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn. Well,
It was a fun trip though, and I would really enjoy. I mean, I always have fun with my fam. Like, it's a lot. Now that we're adults, like it's different. Like me and my sister. We always talk about. Just talk mad shit when they're not around. I'm just kidding. But like it's always fun. Like we just have a good time. We smoke. We drink. I got fucked up. Did I tell you that?
You kind of did, but you didn't really elaborate.
Okay, I'll wrap it up on this. So, I got fucked up on Wednesday. I'm not a binge drinker, so like I get really fucked up one night. Like I need the next day is like no booze, So Thursday, I spent the whole day like chilling, recovering, eating, smoking a little bit. Friday, same thing. We were at the lake all day. I wasn't drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually thinking like, my plan was to not drink again until we went on our camping trip,
I remember you
which is
telling
going to
us.
be this weekend, right? So I was like, a solid 2 weeks of no drinking, this and that. My fam, they're not really like crazy partiers. They're more like casual sippers. So I'm like, so I don't need to drink. Because, when I sip, I sip, And so Friday, and then we were at the lake all day. And then like with the combination of like the weed that I smoked that my brother had. And then like the sun had been beating down on us all day. So like Friday night, like I was exhausted. Like I was just like, oh, so I just went to sleep. So then Saturday comes, and we're at the, we go for the hike. Then we go to the beach again, hang out there, and then we go back. And now we're gonna go. Now it's actually my brother's birthday. Now we're gonna go out and we're gonna go to the casino. First, my sister didn't want to go. My sister was like, I ain't going nowhere except the Airbnb and the fucking beach. You want to have dinner? We're ordering in, Yeah. And I was kind of like, I'm hip with that, But like, my brother and my mom, they're like, my mom likes to gamble.
Yeah.
And like my brother just, I don't know, wanted to get out of the house or whatever. Okay. Then when she was like, all right, fuck it, let's just go. Social distance, we got our mask. Like you said, there's fucking the cream everywhere. What's it called? The sanitizer everywhere.
Cream.
And so what was I saying? Okay, so they're drinking. They're like in celebration mode. My brother doesn't really drink.
Yeah.
But my sister's, she's making margaritas, and then my mom's sipping. And my dad likes to drink whiskey. So then I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll drink, right?
Uh-huh.
So beforehand, I have a margarita with my sister, right? Okay, cool. Sip, margaritas don't really get me that fucked up. But then I'm like, well, let me kick this into gear,
Oh, shit.
So right before we leave, I fucking pour some whiskey, all right? I think maybe 2 shots I took. Boom, boom. Okay, so now we go. So we go and we're at the casino, and we have like a certain amount of time before our table's gonna be ready, right? So, okay, let's go to the casino, right? So I go to the bar Start playing video poker, right? Put some money in the poker machine, and then I have like bartender, so he hooks me up whiskey and coke. I knock back like 2 or 3 of them before we even go back to we go to dinner, right? And I'm right there gambling with my dad, and we're eating, and it was actually kind of fun. Like I started to get pretty buzzed, so I started to feel like all sentimental. I was like hugging my dad and shit, like this is so fun, this, that. And like we go to dinner, right? Mm-hmm. And then I ordered 2 drinks at dinner, right? Boom, knock those back. And like my parents were paying, so like I try to get a third one, and my dad's like yo, this is like those are like $12 a drink, motherfucker. I was like, all right. So then we go back. So we finish eating. Then we go back to the casino. And again, I go straight to the bar, right? I start playing video poker. And I'm like, keep them coming. Boom, boom, boom. By this time, I'm like fucked up, right? But I'm good,
Yeah.
And like at this time, like my fam's like, they're already tapping out. But I'm already like.
Yeah, everyone's done drinking.
Yeah, I'm like, full show kids. Like, let's roll. knocking them back. And then, like. So we're at the casino another hour. Then midnight, my parents are like, all right, let's go back. All right, shit. So we go back, and like, I'm already like at this point thinking like, how can I get my hands on more drink? Luckily, my family, my parents, they always do. They buy booze, but then they don't drink it. Like they barely touch it. So every time I go around, even when I go to their house, like there's always a decent amount stocked. Yeah. And I'm like, well, no one else, I'll drink it then. So then
someone's got
to drink it. Like, this is just going to go bad, eventually. Does booze go bad?
I mean.
Not for a long time.
Not for a long, long time.
Like a magnet, like 400 years before it's no good. So we go back to Airbnb, right? And like my parents are tapping out, my brother's tapping out, my sister's the only one who's like still kind of down to like ride with me,
Yeah.
So I go back and like I just pour a thing of whiskey, knock that back straight.
Fuck.
Pour another one of whiskey. And at this point, I'm like, and like I'm sitting there with my sister, and I'm just like, oh, and like she has a video of me, and I'm playing the guitar, and I'm just like, proud to be an okay. And like passing out while I'm playing the guitar and shit. And then eventually she goes, right? So now everyone's asleep. And I'm like, all fucked up. And like I open the fridge, and there's about a 6-pack of Modelo left, right?
Nice.
So on my drunk ass head, I'm thinking like, well, I'll just polish. I'm like, all right, I'll just polish these off.
And at this point, you're by yourself.
At this point, everyone's asleep.
Yeah.
And I'm just like in the living room, just like, but I'm like, hey, I'm on vacay,
Yeah.
Fuck it. And if it was like Tuesday before work, there might be an issue. But yeah, I'm fucking on vacation, So I'm like, fuck it. So I get my phone out and I put my headphones in, and I'm like listening to music, and I'm like looking at videos on YouTube, and I knock back like one Modelo, right?
Yeah.
And I think I get like halfway through at this. I start like blacking out at this point.
Oh shit.
At this point, like I get like halfway through my second Modelo one. And at some point I start puking. And so I puke, and then eventually like I wake up.
Like in the living room?
No, in the restroom. I got up and went to the restroom. And then I puke, and then eventually I wake up in the living room, because I slept in the living room.
Yeah.
I wake up in the living room like, oh, the next morning. My parents start telling me how like my mom said that she heard me throwing up. Okay, great, whatever. My dad said that at like 4 a.m. he got up, or like 5 or whatever, sometime in the morning he got up to take a piss, and he said that I was in the middle of the living room, like just on the floor, like just passed out, like on the floor.
You just fell like.
Yeah, he said like I was just on the floor. He said I had a pillow over my head, but I was just like on the floor, just like. I was like, oh my God. But I was like, yeah, what are you gonna do? And then, because my parents, like, they're when it comes to drinking and stuff, they're relatively square. They're not like pounders, they don't, they've never been like that, like big drinkers. But alcoholism does run in my family, and some of my family members have dealt with that, and one of them so was my aunt, right? So the next day, like, I think we're driving home or whatever, and like, I tell them how, like, yeah, I think at one point, like, when everyone went to bed, I said, yeah, I opened the fridge and saw the booze, and I was like, hey, fuck it, like, I'll just polish off the booze, right? And they were kind of like, oh my god, and my mom was like, she goes, that's a Rosie move, you know, like no one goes to bed until all the booze is finished, you know. But she goes, oh, that was a total Rosie move. And like my aunt was like an infamous like alcoholic, so I just thought like, man, what a comparison, you know, like fuck. Even my dad was like, you better be careful with all that drinking. I was like, oh fuck. I'm like, I don't drink all the time. Just when I do, I go
vacation, pops.
Yeah, come on. You're the one who poured me up my first drink, okay? So it's your fault.
You started this.
You started this. I take no responsibility for my actions. But that's it. And then that was Saturday night, and then I didn't get drunk again until Friday.
Yeah.
When we were hanging out. So there you go.
Yeah, not too bad. Huh? Give yourself
At least
a
I
buffer.
don't binge drink, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, so that was Tahoe. So it was fun. It was fun hanging out with my fam.
That's dope. Yeah. Yeah, hanging out with Ethan Ash and my mom and dad, too, was chill. Ours was relatively tame. We were drinking not so much. Me and Ash
you're a better drinker than I am.
Yeah.
You're a way better drinker than I am. Because, like, you know how to, like, casually sip. I either, like, get drunk or I just don't drink. You know?
Yeah.
Because, I don't know. The casual sip ain't just for me. Like, if I'm going to be casual, I'd rather just blaze it. Smoke some weed.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to relax, that's what I do. I'll smoke weed. If I'm trying to party, I drink.
Yeah, I get you. Because, like, drinking, for me, I like that steady buzz.
With that said.
Also, too, we stopped at Calico. That's a ghost town.
I
got a video up. I'm going to put it up on Instagram
that
for
looks,
you guys.
I haven't been to a ghost town in a while, but I do like old Western shit.
It's dope, dude. And it's cool because they have, like, a picture of the town from the 1800s. Or it might be 1700s. But anyway, from way back when. And they have it set up at the same place that it was taken.
Mm-hmm.
So you can look at the picture and look at the town, like, straight ahead as it was in the past and how it looks now.
Yeah.
And it's relatively the same. They added a few shops for gift shops and stuff like that. But it looks dope. Anyway, we tried bacon soda there. And we have a reaction on the videos of all of us. Like, it was well, I'll let you guys watch it, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But
okay.
Yeah, so I'll put that up on Instagram for everybody to see.
Cool.
All right,
Well, probably finish it off.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. And subscribe.
Real quick. I watch a shitload of YouTube. I'm very enamored with the platform these days, you know, especially since we're on YouTube. Like, I like to see what other people are doing and see their progress and also like, get inspiration and how to make our videos better. And I think the one thing we don't do is we don't like do the subscription. Like, every video I watch is like, don't forget to subscribe and like and this and that, and like maybe we should do that a little more. So, you know, and they always do it at the beginning of the video.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Don't forget, before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Hit that bell so there's a notification every time we upload. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of channels I'm into right now that are way better than us.
We'll get there. I
We'll get
swear.
there.
I promise.
But anyway, yeah, thanks for listening. Felipe, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell button if you care about us that much. And, you know, COVID's still going on. There was a spike. There's been a spike. Everyone said don't open back up.
Yeah.
But we did it, and here we
A lot
are.
of people are talking about, but you have to remember, too, the protests had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, and isn't it
it's
funny how protests are still happening?
Yeah.
But because they're not burning the city down, no one's really giving it the attention it was getting, which should be very telling to how they treat minorities and people of color in the media. You know, it's not, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
Media and news is entertainment. You know, like hell when the protesting was going on and we were here and we were watching it.
Yeah.
We were gathered around the TV like it was the fucking Super Bowl.
You know what's funny about that?
Yeah.
There was a UFC match going around. It was on.
Yeah.
And we switched the
Yeah,
channel.
we were like, this is boring. Like, we started watching the Looney because, but like that's fucked up, you know.
Yeah.
And now that peaceful protests and you know there's sort of a hold on it, and they're trying to say, hey, look, they're trying to be taken seriously. They're not getting the platform. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I understand why people who are into pushing everything that's going on, they push it every day. Yeah. Because no one else is. You know what I'm saying? They can't depend on the media because the media only wants to fearmonger. That's kind of the reality we live in, and unfortunately a lot of people are susceptible to it, and including myself. Yeah. I was thinking last night like about getting a TV, an antenna. Yeah. To watch TV, to just sort of, because I actually used to really be into the news because I would just be interested in to see especially local news. Right. And then I was like, do I really want to sit there and let the news like fuck me up? You know what I'm saying?
We have to remember too, they're trying to get ratings.
For sure, that's what I mean. It's entertainment. Mm-hmm. So stay woke, everyone. And also take care of yourselves and take care of each other and love, don't hate. Yes? All right. See you guys next time.
Peace.